Mama, mama, mama. And 1 and 2. We are going live. We're live today. Good morning, everybody. The morning show. It's for you. RNC Love Fest. On display for you. There's an RNC Love Fest. It's all for you. It's like 1969. 1 and 2. Pitch. I gotta stop. We are going. I don't know why that does that. La 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 la. What a day, what a day, what a time to be alive. What exciting times to be alive. A bullet dodges the President of the United States' head. A bullet hits his head, but only part of it. Right? It seems like something is changing. There's something in the air that's changing. Is it 1969 Love Fest all over again? Are people really starting to get it? Like, if you curse and swear people and wish death on them, that eventually some of these things will materialize. Maybe people are finally realizing that watch the words that come out of your mouth, right? Especially when other people are standing in front of you. And be respectful. Treat people the way you'd like to be treated. It's an interesting theme going into an election season, where the theme historically, both sides have used the tactic of not running on things that are good for people, but reasons why the other guy is bad for people. Right? It's like, don't vote for that guy. He's horrible. Don't vote for that gal. She'll kill your kids, right? Or she'll be bad for your children into the future. So we're living in a time now that maybe might within the force doesn't really make sense. There's a lot of breaking news. There's a couple of people. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, someone who I thought would be at least high on Trump's list for VP. J.D. Vance won that, but Sarah Huckabee Sanders delivered an outstanding, amazing, stupendous RNC talk. We'll look at that one. Rudy was at the RNC convention as well. Trump opening his trap about Taiwan that he's suggesting Trump did in the news. It makes you realize who really is in charge and what the world thinks. What the world thinks. If someone gave a political opinion and wasn't even close in the running to be the sitting president, nobody would be listening. But the world is listening to Trump, and they're listening to him this time on what he's saying about Taiwan. And it's not good. Taiwan is has always, been friends of U.S. Trump is trying to suggest that Taiwan Semiconductor, the company there, hurts American business. So why should we support Taiwan? Let them pay us. That's what Trump is saying about Taiwan. Let them pay us to protect them from Chinese annex, right? Which the Chinese have said they were going to do anyway. Right? And where historically has China said we're going to annex a place and didn't do it? They did it Tibet, for example, and certainly more recently Hong Kong. So we'll, but I don't know. I disagree with what Trump is saying there. They gotta pay us for protection. Well, the United States is well situated in Taiwan. We'll look at that story when we get to it. I take issue there with Trump, and so does the stock market. Stock market futures look like they're going to open down on the news that Trump is starting problems in China. Trump sees China as a problem for the United States in terms of its competitive edge, its military might, its seizing of smaller nations like Taiwan, Tibet, Hong Kong, and such. And if he seizes power, if Trump becomes president, there will be increasing pressure on Asia. Right? It's not necessarily military pressure, but if it's lack of military pressure, some other. That's how power vacuums happen, right? That's how power vacuums happen. Trump, the United States, Taiwan's biggest ally is the United States, big muscle, lots of guns, and we supply them with all their military, might. And suddenly a president comes in and says, they're going to have to pay us if they want to keep it going. And what happens? China hears that and says, okay, this is a good time to take it because the United States is saying, pay us. So you got to be careful what you say, right? It's one of the problems. I guess that's one of the problems with Trump. Right? He sticks his foot in his mouth. Look at these flower children. Are we 1967 again? Is it 1967 again? Put on your acid. Put on your acid. Are we going back? Are people awakening? This is what the first awakening looked like in our recent history. Put on your acid. Looks like Ozzy Osbourne. They even had the kids tripping. I don't know whose music this is, so I'm going to shut it off. But look at some of the imagery from 1967 California. People are fleeing California now. Nobody wants to be in California anymore. They're going to Texas. Even Elon Musk is moving. You heard Elon Musk is moving his X to Twitter is moving to X and space fucking whatever, Space Invaders, whatever his space company is, Elon Musk. He's moving all his shit to Texas. They're taking it out of California. That's breaking news too. But are we here? Are we really in a great awakening right now, or is it the apocalypse? Right, we're destroying all of the species on the planet. There's no animals left. There's only the ones that the humans eat. Anything too big gets fucking shot by some psychopath with a gun. Anyway, I don't know the answers to these questions, but definitely we're here every morning trying to figure it out. My name is Marcus Conte. This is my thumbnail today. That's Sarah Huckabee Sanders taking the stage. I didn't watch all of the talks, but I did watch this one, and it was good. And we'll play it. I'll play it for you. Really, really uplifting, very sincere. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, can she, eventually become president of the United States? She would have had a better chance. I don't know. You know what it is? She would have had a better chance if she was Trump's VP. And there's no guarantee that J.D. Vance is going to have any lasting appeal amongst the American people. He could just be a fly-by-night. Trump wants J.D. Vance, obviously, because he speaks to the poor, working-class, Appalachian, Rust Belt whites. And that's why Trump, he's a good pick. He's a good author. He's a good face. But beyond that, what he's talking about is how people have been overlooked, mostly white people in the middle of the country, the flyover states, how they've been overlooked for immigrants, for so-called minority, so-called city fucking trash. So J.D. Vance speaks to that from his own experience. His mother was a drug addict, a heroin addict. I saw a clip where he interviewed with Megyn Kelly, where his mother was in a car. He was in a car. J.D. Vance was in a car with his mother as a child. And the mother said, "I'm just going to kill us all right now. I'm just going to drive the car and fucking smack it into a wall and kill us and end all our misery." And J.D. Vance, the kid, jumps out the car and calls 911 and gets his mother locked up. So that's what kind of shit we're dealing with. So good morning, everybody. Vinny D. Martini, motherfucker, in the house. Vinny on the wrench. What's up, Jason Hooley? Jason Hooley, how are you, Jason? Good to see you in there. William R. Hall, great artist from Syracuse, New York. My parents, says William, lived in Thailand in the 1960s, and they thought the hippies had taken over America. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know your parents lived in Thailand. That's a fascinating story. I love it. It's one of my favorite, places to be in the world. Thailand, Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Koh Samui, Phuket. I've been to all of those places, and I love that. But I haven't been there in more than 10 years. But I would love to fly. I do plan in my life. It's on my bucket list to go back to Bangkok at least. And say hello, Suwadi Cup. I used to speak Thai. I spoke it when I was there in the early part of the OOs. It's a hard language to learn. Really, it's hard for an American to learn it. Anyway, so this is my thumbnail. Marcus Conte, Morning Report. That's us right here. The heavily censored YouTube program. Right here on YouTube. YouTube continues to censor. I don't know why they shut off the comments. If you look at the comments after the video processes, they seem to prevent people from coming onto my videos to talk and to talk up the videos and spike up the likes and spike up the views. But that's where we are. Hopefully, my hope is that a change in regime, a different view from the political class might cause these tech agencies to stop fucking censoring people already. Stop it. Right? Just let people speak and let it become a true search. People find what they want to hear, not what you want to make them hear or allow them to hear. So every morning, 9 a.m., you can hear me right here. And there's all these other platforms, Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Facebook, Twitter, Getter, Truth Social. I plant the videos along those lines so you can watch it elsewhere. You're streaming from YouTube, but you can do it that way. shorthappylife@gmail.com. That's the way you can Zelle some support to this program as we go forward. I don't have any GoFundMe or anything like that. This is an unmonetized, demonetized channel. YouTube for years has refused to allow monetization of this channel or any videos at all for reasons that they refuse to offer. And I hate to keep it going, but come on already, right? Cut it out. What is the reason why the channel is censored? There is no reason. Why? Because there's videos from 3, 4, and 5 years ago that you disapprove of, right? Because the climate and the political atmosphere changes, and then the videos become banned, and then the person that made the videos is suddenly the enemy of the public. The censorship stuff is bad. Right? It's really a bad deal. So this is what we got. It's almost like Trump Pence, but you just change 2 letters and you got Trump Vance. Donald Trump, man. Donald fucking Trump. Trump, you wanted Pence, we got Vance. Isn't it the same guy? Some people will say. But his main plug here, his main thumbnail, still on with the Make America Great Again, MAGA 2024. He's got his young J.D. Vance, who's in the heart and the soul of the Make America Great Again, America First movement in America. What a day! What a day to be alive in America. Here's Rudy Giuliani. Rudy had a run-in with Trump. Listen to this. This is great.
Rudy, you're in Sky News Australia, live on TV in Australia. How are you feeling about this convention? Have you spoken to Donald Trump since the assassination attempt?
Yes.
What did he say to you?
Well, it's kind of private, but all I can tell you is he was unfazed. Maybe he sounded to me more spiritual. I detected a little note, having gone through a similar experience on 9/11, where I just escaped death by that much. I know what it does to you. But I am so proud of him. when he emerged with that fight, that's a iconic image that'll live in American history. And it's exactly what we need right now.
Yeah, man.
We need a president who's strong, who's tough, who's in possession of himself, and not a broken down old crook that we have in the White House.
Right.
Amen. Israel and the Jews that's ever been in the White House.
Thank you, Rudy. So
Israel and the Jews. You heard somebody say that? What'd they say? Hold on.
Israel and the Jews that's ever been in the White House.
That we have in the White House.
Amen. Israel and the Jews that's ever been in the White House.
thank you,
Is that who the fuck said that? Is Israel and the Jews?
Rudy. So Pete, this is what conventions are like.
So that was good, man. Rudy Giuliani fighting for his life as well. He lost his law degree in New York. The lawfare, in the Biden administration, they used the criminal justice system to go after their political enemies. That's not a theory. That is not a conspiracy at all. There is evidence on top of evidence that almost all of these frivolous cases that they threw at Trump all fell apart. Is Rudy Giuliani going to get pardoned by Trump? Of course he's going to get pardoned. All the garbage. They're going to open up if Trump wins, I got news for you. All the people from January 6th, it's going to be a day to celebrate because they're all going to get out of jail. Maybe this first week, Trump might just pen it, say they're all pardoned. The 1,000 people that were convicted of seditious conspiracy, a civil war fucking crime that the Democrats dug up, probably with Obama, the law fucking guy, leading the charge. Fake, ridiculous, unsensical charges against people for showing up at a rally on January 6th. All that stuff's going to get thrown in the garbage, almost guaranteed by Trump. He said it. So Elon Musk moving X and SpaceX to Texas. Congratulations, California, losing another billionaire. Lots and lots of money. Billionaire Elon Musk. California is going down the toilet. California is the opposite of what it was in the 60s. Everybody in America and in the world was flooding to California for its sunny beaches and surf. And now they're fleeing because of corruption and violence and drugs on their steps and bizarre politics. Billionaire Elon Musk said Tuesday he will shift his headquarters of privately held SpaceX and social media site X to Texas from California, calling Gavin Newsom's decision to sign a new student gender identity law the final straw. So Elon Musk is one of those strange humans that believes that there's only two genders. There's only male and female. Can you show me others? Right? He's one of those guys that actually believes that there's only two genders, right? Well, don't we have more than that? Right? That's what Elon Musk is saying. The law signed Monday blocks school districts from requiring teachers to notify parents about changes in a student's gender identity. So the law does not allow teachers to speak to the parent of a student who they see as having problems in school, mainly with, I guess, sexual identity. The teacher is no longer allowed to do that and must get permission from the student. So, and Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, he's the one orchestrating all this garbage. Elon Musk said, you know what, enough. He's right. Joe Rogan was right ahead of him. And so California is going to be fucking desert soon. It's going to be wasteland. It's still a beautiful place, but here's Gavin Newsom. So California hemorrhaging right now, right? Oh man! So look at this. So let's talk about. I haven't talked about conspiracies on this program about the assassination for a good reason. You have to wait it out. Right? Now, how on earth did a young man, 20 years old, with a ladder, right, close by ladder, get on a roof with a fucking rifle and a tripod and get 150 yards or less away from the candidate for president, former President Trump. How is that allowed to happen? How did that happen? Now there's a lot of concern. And why did it? Why did they wait to shoot the guy? Why did they allow the kid to take position and fire? Right? There's a lot of unanswered questions. But the thing to realize is that in these situations, it could be a fucking error. Right? These things they only happen once every 50 years. And it could be just a breach, right? In that everything is happening very, very quickly in these assassinations. Very quickly. In 2 minutes, the whole thing is over. People don't know what the fuck is happening. Most people in the crowd don't know that Trump just got shot. Right? They find out later. They don't know what's going on. They just hear, they don't know what's going on. So hold your fire, right? America, hold your fire on the conspiracy theories. But CBS says, no. Iran. They're going to try to... CBS is spinning the conspiracy that Iran plot. It was an Iran plot. Right? But then they say, oh, no, it has nothing to do with the latest hit. And then they go on to whip the conspiracy that Iran wants to kill Trump. Right? And what is that? That's the scapegoat. Don't blame Biden and his failed policy and his failed rhetoric and all the other dirty Democrats calling Trump fucking Hitler and a Nazi and a fucking disease to the world, right? Or whatever else they've said about Trump over and over again, right? That's not the problem. The problem is Iran. Listen to this conspiracy theory. Here we go.
Good afternoon. I'm Lindsay Reiser. Thanks for joining us here on CBS News 24/7. CBS News has learned U.S. intelligence officials detected an Iranian plot against former President Donald Trump.
Every single nation in the world has a plan to assassinate. Do you know how many people the United States has screwed over in the world over the years? Iran is only one of them. Talk about all the Middle East countries, Jordan, fucking, look. There's to say that. Let's listen to it again. Listen to it with open ears.
24/7. CBS News has learned U.S. intelligence officials detected an Iranian plot against former President Donald Trump.
U.S. intelligence officials. Who? Who exactly are we talking about? You're talking about the fake fucking Washington Post CIA connection? What CIA? What are you talking about? What fucking agency?
Two officials confirmed they found out about the...
No names. There's no names here. This is just some hack in the CIA said.
...threat recently, and it was shared before Trump's rally in Pennsylvania on Saturday. But there's no information suggesting the threat was connected to the attempted assassination over the weekend.
There's no evidence of connection.
Suggesting the threat was connected to the attempted assassination over the weekend. Let's report Trump's rally in Pennsylvania on Saturday. But there's no information suggesting the threat was connected to the attempted assassination over the weekend.
There's no information connected to connect what happened to Trump over the weekend. Nonetheless, having said that, I had to listen to it 3 times to understand what she was saying. Right? Having said that, listen to what they go on for the next 4 minutes to talk about. Watch.
Let's bring in CBS News national security contributor Samantha Vinograd. She formerly served as the Assistant Secretary for Counterterrorism and Threat Prevention for the Department of Homeland Security in the Biden administration. So, Sam, what do we know about this threat and why is Trump a target?
Well, Lindsay, I am unsurprised by reporting that there have been additional Iranian threats to Mr. Trump. During my time at the Department of Homeland Security, I worked with the U.S. Secret Service and others to review threats facing protectees, U.S. Secret Service protectees. And based upon Mr. Trump and his cabinet's decision to engage in the assassination of an individual named Qasem Soleimani, who was
her assessment is that because Trump whacked Soleimani, the Iranian fucking whoever guy, right? Because this is what the United States does. We assassinate people all over the world all the time, right? Because Trump did that, right? Well, what about Bush? Bush fucking leveled, Iraq, weapons of mass destruction, right? Come on.
head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, an entity.
This has nothing whatsoever to do with Trump being shot. But you see how the conspiracy can be whipped? Because if you're watching, you're already a minute in, and you forgot that they said this one has nothing to do with the other. But they continue. This is CBS whipping the conspiracy theory that Iran was behind the assassination. And it's a scapegoat. It's a government scapegoat to say that it's not because of our rhetoric. It's nothing that we did. It's not a weakness in our security. It's not a hole in our, in our democracy. It's Iran. Right?
That conducted terror attacks and supported terror attacks around the world. The Iranian regime vowed to avenge that assassination, and there have been an ongoing series of...
William R. Hall says she looks like this is Samantha Anorexic Meth Head. She does look like that, right? She looks like she just got shot up with a heavy meth and hasn't eaten for 3 days. That's what she looks like. They put her right on TV. I'll say anything, man. I need meth. I need meth. I'll lie. I work for the CIA. I'll say it. How much do I get for it?
Threats to Mr. Trump and specific members of his administration when
they're paying people to do this, right? That's the fucking tragedy of the mainstream media. They're paying hacks like this to go on and whip the conspiracy, try to connect Iran plot and Trump assassination, right, as a scapegoat. Because if it happens again, they'll say, "See, Iran."
Were in office.
Next time they'll hit Trump, they'll try to hit him with a bomb and say, "See, Iran, we told you."
And since they left office, Lindsay.
The shit's not over yet.
Do we know of any new threats against other Trump administration era officials?
The U.S. Secret Service has not disclosed that, but it is important to note.
CBS never lets you know. They never tell you that. Do you know how many death threats Barack Obama had within the country and outside of the country? All over the world, people wanted to kill Barack Obama because he dropped more bombs on more people's heads than any sitting president, to date. And that's just the reality of. There's plenty of people, plenty of countries that would love to kill George Bush Jr. for killing Saddam Hussein, hanging him. Right, or orchestrating the hanging of Saddam Hussein. It's crazy. This is called the rabbit hole, and it's ugly because Democrats can easily. You see how easily they jump on top of these things. Right? They're suddenly gonna, the Democrats will be Russia. They hacked our election. Yeah, Russia. They tried to kill our president.
That the U.S. Secret Service is not responsible for providing protection for anyone other than Mr. Trump and his immediate family after
Mr. Trump, not former President Trump, Mr. Trump.
They left office. However, the U.S. Secret Service did continue protection for certain Trump administration officials after they left office, including National Security Advisor John Bolton, for a time Secretary of the Treasury Steve.
That's a fucking war criminal, John Bolton. Where is he? Where did he go?
Mnuchin. And National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien. So
what about Mike Pompeo? But you got to include Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State, in that.
I can tell you from experience working alongside the U.S. Secret Service and the intelligence community, they consistently evaluate for new threat information and have consistently over time adjusted their operational posture for protectees.
Okay, I think you got the gist of it, right? I don't want to let this anorexia go too long. Let's listen to something brighter, right? So that's mainstream media right now whipping the conspiracy that the plot to kill Trump is Iranian and not left-wing and fucking Antifa kooks from Oregon or wherever they're from. There's Antifa trash all over the country, right? These are kids that are confused. They're people that are confused. They somehow see American strength as a form of nationalism, a form of subordination to a flag and country. Like it's become backwards. Right, it's become a backwards view, Antifa. Right, it's not forward. What I say, Sarah Huckabee Sanders is speaking to regular, real Americans. That's why I would have voted for her for president. Well, I would have rather see her as vice president. But here she is.
Thank you. What a powerful story to follow. Good evening. I'm Sarah Huckabee Sanders. And before I get started, I want to say I have always been proud to stand with President Trump, but never have I been more proud than to stand with him right now, tonight. Not even an assassin's bullet could stop him. God Almighty intervened because America is one nation under God, and he is certainly not finished with President Trump.
Wow.
And our country is better for it. I am here tonight as America's youngest governor, the first woman to lead the great state of Arkansas.
Yeah, man. This is what democracy looks like.
And most importantly, a mom to 3 amazing kids. Scarlett, Huck, George.
This is what democracy looks like right here. This is what this is what it should be.
When I was President Trump's White House press secretary, the best job. I got the chance to take my 4-year-old son, Huck, to Bring Your Kid to Work Day. Much like Jill now drags Joe to bring your husband to work day.
That was the one-liner of the fucking convention. That was the best one-liner of the convention so far.
And while I was briefing the president on the upcoming event in the Oval Office, all of the kids who were attending that day gathered in the Rose Garden, getting ready to meet him. And we were walking out onto that beautiful, perfect colonnade. And I saw out of the corner of my eye that my son Huck was running full speed directly at the President of the United States. Being the gracious person he is, President Trump bent down to give him a big hug. And right in front of everyone, Huck sidestepped the president, completely ignoring him in front of everyone, and ran straight into my arms. For my 4-year-old son, the most powerful man in the world had nothing on his mom.
See the talent just pours out of this woman. That is such a great story to tell, and not an easy story to tell. She does it with such grace. Really. Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She's going to be in our politics for a long time, man. She's not going anywhere.
But because he's the amazing man he is, President Trump didn't mind at all. After all, he's a dad to 5 unbelievable kids and a grandfather to 10.
Promoting family life. That's what they're doing.
And while that story is certainly a special memory for my family, it's an even greater reminder why I support President Trump. Not for me, not for him, but for my kids and for yours.
Yeah.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car.
Okay, let's find out.
Okay, you ready?
No.
All right, 100.
I don't care.
Under President Trump, America was safer. The world was safer. And it felt like the next generation would have a chance at the American dream. President Trump did the job that Kamala won't and Joe Biden simply can't. When we're honest, every American knows that we were so much better off under President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
So tonight, I don't want to just speak about President Trump's successful policies. While there are many, I want to talk about the man that I know. When the president hired me, I was the first mom and only the third woman to ever serve as the White House press secretary.
This is a great story. Listen to this story again, right? This is Sarah Huckabee Sanders' inside scoop on what happened to her as the press secretary. Listen, it's a tearjerker.
And in that role, I endured relentless attacks from the left.
Yep.
I was insulted as a guest at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. My family was denied service and kicked out of a restaurant.
Get your white privilege out of here.
And a parent at my 3-year-old son's preschool spit on my car. And in those moments, it was President Trump who defended me. And when an MSNBC host, the author of several books on empowering women, said I was unfit to be a mother,
amazing.
and another MSNBC host said I was vile, not even human, and that I should be choked, MSNBC again did nothing. But our president pulled me aside, looked me in the eye, and said, Sarah, you're smart, you're beautiful, you're tough, and they attack you because you're good at your job. Never let them stop fighting.
There you go.
Thank you, Mr. President.
It's amazing, right? There you go. Marcus Conte calling it. I think she'll be the president before J.D. Vance will.
That's the Donald Trump that I know. And that's the Donald J. Trump I will always respect.
See, if you want a female president, here she is. Here she is. Right? Young, smart, family values.
They only care about empowering themselves. But we have a president who believes in empowering every American and that our country is worth fighting for.
Yeah, man. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, she was my pick. I didn't get her. See what Tucker Carlson says. It's not crazy. Back to the fucking conspiracy theories, because they're fun, right? Conspiracy theories. But I just wanted to I don't think I drove it home, but there is absolutely zero connection, as we know it right now, between the shooter, fucking, what's his name? Thomas Matthew Crooks, the 20-year-old shooter on the roof in Pennsylvania, and Iran. There is nothing that connects those two things. Absolutely nothing. But what Tucker Carlson is about to tell you is that it is suspicious that there's a ladder and such. But let's listen to it's not crazy. Tucker says not crazy to think that he was a lone gunman. Right? Who put him up to it? Listen.
You know, at some point we may find out what happened on Saturday. A guy with a rifle wound up on a building, you know, that close with a ladder, and all these people saw it, and the security service are like, what is that? You know, it's not.
Tucker, it's the thing to know about Pennsylvania. It's an open carry state. For someone to go up on a roof or be walking around with a gun is not unheard of. It's the fact that he jumped up on the roof, right? Right? To have the weaponry is not unusual in the state of Pennsylvania, right? It's open carry. It's licensed concealed carry. There's a lot of guns, right? A lot of people have guns. I don't see it as a problem. I live in Pennsylvania. I never feel like, oh, wow, there's so many guns around here. My life is in danger. No, I feel like if I'm a law-abiding citizen walking on the sidewalk, I feel safe, right? Because people are protecting not only themselves, but they're protecting you from the kooks and the crazies. So it's never the gun, right? But the fact that a kid had the gun and he got up on the roof near the president, there is suspicion there. How did that happen? Right? Why did Secret Service or the law enforcement people, they said they saw him climb the roof. One guy even followed him up there, and then the SWAT team 150 yards away positioned to kill him. Why not just drag him by his foot? Right? So there are these questions, no doubt about it.
Crazy to think that there was something there. It was an effort to kill Trump. It wasn't just a lone gunman. Right there. Oh, yeah.
Hi, I'm Virginia.
Tucker Carlson, nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you in person. Thanks for taking some time to ask us some questions.
Of course.
Well, big news today. We learned that J.D. Vance is the pick for vice president.
Yes.
Did Trump make the right choice?
Well, he absolutely made the right choice. And I think, I love J.D. Vance. I know him pretty well personally, and I think he's an outstanding person. He's really smart, but he puts his intelligence to good use, which is to say the pursuit of wisdom. I mean, J.D. Vance is one of the only politicians I've ever met. Well, he hasn't been a politician for very long, but who thinks about, like, what's the right choice? What's the moral choice? What's the best choice for the country? So, yeah, I'm thrilled. But I would also say that Trump didn't choose a long list of truly destructive people who hate what Trump believes. And who, for reasons that they would have to explain, wanted to serve them anyway. What is that? If you didn't agree with somebody, you probably wouldn't want to be their running mate, right? But if you want to be their running mate anyway, that would suggest what? Well, A, that you were incredibly dishonest, and B, that you're probably working to subvert them. And there was, I'm not privy to Trump's mind, but I did watch the process closely, and there were an awful lot of people who I personally consider loathsome, but even if I didn't consider them loathsome, I know for a fact dislike what Donald Trump believes, and they wanted to serve with him. And there was a lot of pressure brought to bear on the president to choose them, and he didn't. And so I consider his choice an act of courage. I'm grateful for it. I think it says something really good about where this administration will go. I'm saying confidently he'll be the president. He deserves to be. I think he will be.
It's interesting with Tucker Carlson's take on that he picked J.D. Vance because he was the least, he had the least amount of controversy and pressure to pick him. He was just some nice guy that has talent, right? Very talented, J.D. Vance, writer, speaker, right? Fucking law school editor, right?
And so I find it thrilling.
Tucker, the past 24 hours has been wild, the amount of news that has come out. How did the attempted assassination on former President Donald Trump change this election?
Well, Trump won when that happened because he displayed physical courage. And, if you live in a society where people are literally dating by remote, virtually, and working virtually, you can kind of lose touch with the physical reality of life.
Tucker Carlson calling the 2024 election for Trump based on the assassination. It showed courage. It showed a strong man.
But the unchanging truth is that leadership requires courage, and not just abstract courage, moral courage, but physical courage.
Yeah.
Someone starts shooting a rifle. Like, are you going to wet yourself and start crying and run away? Or are you going to stand up and look at your people and raise your fist and say, fight? And very few people are capable of doing that. And he is.
He is.
And therefore he wins.
Yeah, it's Tucker Carlson. What else we got here? Oh, yeah, I wanted to say this. Okay, so we've had a love fest with Trump, but I tend to disagree right here. I don't think I don't think if Trump was elected president, he would simply turn his back, very coldly on Taiwan, who is an American ally, has been for many, many years. They speak Chinese, for the record. 90% of Taiwan is of Chinese descent. They speak Mandarin in the street. It's the language of the land, not Taiwanese, not English. It's Mandarin, same language that's spoken in Beijing. Very, very loyal to China, always have been. All the characters everywhere. It's fucking China. Taiwan is mostly Chinese, China, and in the same way that Ukraine is Russia, and that's why people don't realize that how much Ukraine is Russia. The same could be said about Taiwan. But the irony about Taiwan is that most people there don't really have a strong allegiance to the United States or the West anymore. And once upon a time in the 1940s, 1950s, after World War II, Taiwan sided with the then, I guess it was in the 50s, sided with Lyndon B. Johnson, who went there and settled. I think it was Johnson, but one president went to Taiwan, and it's been a love fest ever since. But most people, and this is from personal experience, I was in Taiwan a few months ago, that most people in Taiwan feel like that it's not a big deal that China takes it over. That's fucked up, right? We don't care. We're already China. Why are we siding with the Americans? But Trump says Taiwan should pay the U.S. for its defense, as it doesn't give us anything. And based on that statement, the market just got rocked on the open. It's 9:50 New York time. NASDAQ getting crushed. Why? Because Trump is on fucking TV, or he's giving interviews that say that Taiwan Semiconductor, the company that makes all the chips for everybody, is competing with us. Right? Why are we defending a country? This is Trump's logic. Why are we defending a country, Taiwan, from China, who is competing in the same market that we are for semiconductor development? Why aren't they paying us for the support? Why are we giving them anything? That's a fucking distorted view. That's a fucked up view. Now, is Trump just playing politics? Is that Trump's way of saying, well, give us something and we'll give you something? Maybe it didn't seem to piss off Taiwan too much. And it also, well, listen, Donald Trump said Taiwan should pay the U.S. for protection from China, calling into question Washington's support for the island's democracy should he win back the White House in November. So that Trump, not even the president, is look at the effect he has on the market. Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 49, S&P down 52. But the NASDAQ is getting crushed right now. NASDAQ is down 327, still way up. Trump stock just rocketed off the bottom. It's $38 a share right now. TQQQ down 4.5. Sorry, $75 a share, still way up. But look at the big tech. Nvidia down, Google down, Apple down 6, Amazon down 4. This is all on Trump. Meta down 14, Microsoft down 5. This is all on the news. How is Taiwan Semiconductor? Taiwan Semiconductor down 12 on the news of this right here, Trump. Right? Trump's statements on Taiwan. That's bad. Taiwan is strategically positioned to help us for defense against China. It's right off the coast of China. For one. And we should be paying them for that. We should be paying them rent. for having our military base 10 miles off the coast of China with a bomb. But so Trump is a bit of a loose cannon in terms of Taiwan, right? Offer it. Look, the likelihood. Here's the likelihood. The likelihood, and Trump might already believe it, that the likelihood of Taiwan falling into the column of China annex over the next 25 years is highly, highly probable. Why? Because they're 90% there already. Everything there is Chinese. They're Chinese people. Chinese fucking everything. The original founders, well, at least in the last 100 years, are from China. China Republic of the Republic of China, ROC. So the likelihood of Taiwan falling back into the column of China isn't unrealistic in our lifetime. It's probably going to happen. And it's not that big of a deal. You could still, China always gives people the opportunity to leave. Not that you want to, but anyway, there you go, right? Casville Camden says, why should U.S. pay to protect any foreign country? We're not paying to protect. Why? I mean, it's a good question. It's, again, for the reasons that I just said. It's strategically positioned for our own interests. It's a booming metropolis, a booming economy with, companies like Taiwan Semiconductor, very, very high level of commitment amongst workers, work ethic. I don't think we should pay them. And they shouldn't be paying us like it's, here's some money, now fucking shoot some bombs at China. Right? I don't know. I don't know the answer to it, but I don't think that Trump is wise that's a side with China. That really is. He's saying, well, China, fuck it. We don't want to get into a war with China. Take Taiwan. Right? These are power vacuums. You got to be careful what you say, right? And Trump just... Trump basically said it. So Marcus Conte reporting. I think it's a good time right now in America. It seems like the RNC convention is settling down. And as I said, I've said a couple of times over the last few days, is that if that bullet, that assassin's bullet, right, the crook's bullet, if that bullet would have killed Trump, right, if Trump would have turned the centimeter to the left, and the bullet blew off the back of Trump's head, the conversation today would have been way different. Republican Party would have been in total chaos. The Democrats would have been, fucking standing on their chair saying, see, who are you going to vote for? Our dead guy or your dead guy, right? Biden's already dead, right? Well, mostly dead. We would have been having a really different conversation if Trump was killed. So God intervened. If whatever your concept of God is, something intervened and prevented that hit from happening today. And we're still on the same trajectory. Today is Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. What's today? Wednesday. Yeah, today's Wednesday. So I think we hear at the RNC convention tonight. I think we're going to hear J.D. Vance. And tomorrow, Thursday, we're going to hear Donald J. Trump address the world for the first time. He did give an interview on the plane, but this is the first time we'll hear him take the podium and speak from the podium after being shot. So thank you all for joining me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Marcus Conte reporting.